So welcome to another episode of my tutorial videos on CADS RC. Today we'll be detailing this suspended floor slab, and these are our provisions. If you've been following my previous videos by now, you should be a little bit familiar with some of the tools on CADS RC, like drawing bars, drawing bench, stretching bars, selecting bars, and the rest. So let's just start. So the first thing you do is to set up your scale. So to do this, we'll be using a paper of A3, PK3, my scale. One thing CADS does is for each scale you pick, it makes your text height 2.5 times the scale you choose. So if I intend to use a scale of 100, like I want the text height of 200, that means I'll be using like a scale of 80. That's 200 divided by 2.5 should give me 80. So I'll be picking 80 here. So if I pick 80, so it's asking me for a drawing number. Let me just put a drawing number. You can fill in all this information based on the project you're working on. Okay, so I have my scale. If you come to your annotate, you see the scale of CADS team 80. So now I can start. Now it's saying my bottom may probably could be B1 for you is T12 at 250, bottom top B2 T12 at 250, top T12 at 250, top bottom T10 at 250. So to start, you already know your bottom will go in this direction, your bottom top will go in this direction. So to start now, let me first place all my bottom in this panel. So to do this, first thing I do most times, everybody have their own approach, but for my own approach, first thing I do is just to do like my offset for my cover, offset of 25 almost all around. I can delete these lines later, so I can just do an offset of 25 around, so as to ensure I have my cover. So to do this, okay, I think I've done this one now. So the next thing I do is just to draw my first bar. Drawing my bar now, I can just come here, CADS RC, I'll pick range, new range. So let me call it slab. I'll say okay. Now it's asking me for the range type selection. For this one, it's just more like a single panel, so I'll just pick this single indicator. Now what shape of bar do I want to use? I want to use a U bar, a U bar. So I'll pick this 12 mm, which is, I can call it my bottom, or I can just write it there, U bar, since it's probably going to return. So let me just push U bar here, U bars. Then what I do, instead of for convenience, I come here, I'll pick plan, come here, I only indicate. If you look at the sketch of the bar here, I would only my thickness of my slab is 150. So for B, I would specify B, which is 100. If you remove cover of 25 from 150, you are left with 100. Then here I can just put in like 1000 here. When I go to the plan to draw now, I'll leave out the A, because the A I can just draw that freehand. So if I click on OK now and press OK, I can just come here, draw more like freehand. Once I do this, I can then range from here, putting my cover of 25 to this end. It's asking for another cover offset of 25. Now it's asking me for my spacing. I can put my spacing of 250 here, press enter. It's asking me if I want to label the bar. I'll press yes, Y for yes. So I can just snap to this side, put it here. So I have this here. So now I can come back to this bar, double click on it, and change the view to side. Changing the view to side now, all I have to do is just to move this a little bit up to this side, and I have this. But you know your return bar is always more like 0.25 of this panel. So what I can do is to measure from here to here. What do I have? I have 3775. If you multiply that by 0.25, that should give you 943.75. So I can just approximate that as 1 meter. So if I take this to 1 meter, I can measure from this point to here 1 meter. All I have to do is come out to CADS RC, stretch bar, and just stretch this part up to this point. So I have this. That's for the first part. For this small part here, you can come here, draw bar again, pick range, new bar, single indicator. Then I can choose another shape of bar. For this one, I'll be choosing this shape of bar 9905. So picking this 9905, let me still, just like I did for the previous one, hey, I'll specify 1000 here for now. All this can be adjustable later. For my B, which is 100, I'll skip C for now. My D, 100. Then my E, I'll still put 1000 for now. Then I can come here and still choose plan, just like I did for the other one, just to do it freehand. For this one now, I can just call it my bottom. Then I come here, so I can dot this from here to here. So to select my range, I can pick from here my offset of 25. It's probably going to get to somewhere here. My offset of 25. It asks me for my number of bars or spacing. I'll put 250 here. Press enter. Yes, I want to label this bar. Then I put this here. So now I can just double click on the bars, come here and change it to side. So now I have this. All I have to do is just to come here and see if it's touching, so I can decide to just stretch this bar up. So now you know this button here will be the same thing with this. Instead of doing your calculation of 0.25 which you did earlier, we can just come here, click on stretch bar. You can press your space bar or press enter, then highlight this area, this small side you want to stretch, then drag it down. You can snap to this side, ensure your snap is on, snap to this side, so you have 0.25 over here. Since we know this place is 1 meter, all you have to do is to come here and make the bottom area 1 meter too. So from here up, from dimension, no sorry, you can come here back, pick this point, 1 meter up. So we have this. So all you have to do now is to stretch this up. So at the end of the day, you have 0.25 here. From here is 0.25 here. What's left here should be like 0.5. So we've done for this. We go to the other panels. So let's pick these next panels. Looking at this panel, let me just measure to know the longer side. Checking this is 5225. Let me check the other one. This is 5227. So I would 5225, 5227. So I want my bottom to go in this direction, then my bottom top to go in this direction. So what I can do for something like this, just like we did a U-bar here, I can do a U-bar all the way to this place. So let's do that for you to see what I'm saying. So for this one, I'll come here, CADS RC, door range, new bar. This time I'll still pick the single indicator. Now I'll go back and pick my U-bar, which is 39 for the shape code. Come to notes, U-bars. Then I come back here. Okay, it's on plan already. I come here, then just I can leave. I'll skip A for now. What's my B? B is 100. C, let me assume 1000 for now. You press OK. Okay. So for this one, I'll start doing pick from here. I'll sketch my A up to this point. So now you know this bar would only range from here to here. So what I can do, I can decide to just pick it from here, 25 spacing, which is your cover. So this end 25. Then your center to center spacing 250. Press enter. Enter. It's asking if you want to label. You say yes. Okay, so I have this. So I can double click on this bar now and change it to side. This is how I detail my own slab. I feel this way is faster for me. For others, they have their ways of doing it, but I found this very easy for me, so that's what I do every time. So for this panel now, For this panel, we can stretch this button of this U bar, stretch it into this place, and just make it our top. So what I can do now is just to let me stretch the bar first. I'll stretch it into that panel. So stretching this into this panel, the extent from here to here should be 0.25 of this panel too. So what I can do is measure from here to here, which is 5225 times 0.25, that's 1306. So I can assume 1350 from here, 1350. So if you watch, 1350, so the point is here. So all I need to do is just to stretch my bar, my return here, stretch it down to that point, which is this. So I have this now. So the next thing now is just this small portion here. What I can do, I can just decide to copy what I have here, even this bar, copy this bar, pick this point, then drop here. Then what I do now, since I copy the whole bar, I'll copy the bar set. Now copying this bar set, I can just do an offset of 25 here, do an offset of 25 here, and try to adjust my range. So I'll move this here, my range, I'll stretch my range up to this place. Yeah, I have this. So now I can just delete these lines that I just drew and delete them back. So we have this here. So all I have to do now is just to adjust these bars. I can decide to draw, I can decide to copy, but at this point I just chose to copy. So for this, I'll still stretch these two to this point. So the next panel we'll be looking at is this panel. We already know what we have here is our bottom top, what we have here is our bottom. So what I can do is to draw this first. So but first, let me measure this panel from here to here, 7.65 meters. I'm doing this detailing and having in mind that the length of the full length of my reinforcement is 12 meters, but normally I don't take it up to 12 meters. I take it to like 11.4, so I don't go beyond 11.4 meters when I'm assuming the length of my bars. So for this one now, this panel alone is about 7.6 meters. So what I can do, I can just draw like 2 U bars in this panel. So I can decide to just draw a new one or copy just like I've been doing here. But for this one, let me draw. For the next one, we can copy. So for this, I'll draw, come to range, new bar. I'll pick single indicator again, U bar right here, U bars. Then I'll come here, B 100. I just assume 1000, or this can be changed later. So I'll pick from this point. Let my bar get into this place. It's asking me for start of bar range. Let me pick somewhere here, offset of 25. Offset of 25. Ask me for my number of bars, 250. Press enter. Do I want to label now? I can choose to label now, I can choose to label later. Let me say no for now, I will label it later. So what I can do now is just to double click on the bars and come here, change the view to side. So now I have this. So let me just move this here. So now for this panel, we measured the other time to like 7.625. Let me confirm again. 7.675. If we do 0.25 of that, we would have like 1918. So let's assume 2 meters for this return. So if I come here and pick 2 meters, it's just for me to stretch my return up to that point, 2 meters. I can delete this now. I have this for this. Instead of drawing the return for the other side, what I can just do is just to mirror. So for me to mirror, I can just say mi. Okay, I can draw a line first to this point, then I would mirror this bar and its range. If I mirror this direction, erase source object, you say no because you want a duplicate. Mirror bar sets, yes. So I've mirrored this bar. If I move it away a little, you would see the two bars. This is for this bottom one, while this is for this top one. So I can just delete this line I used. So what I can do now is just to ensure I have enough lap length for the bottom reinforcement. This side of the bar would serve as the top reinforcement, while this side of the bar will serve as the bottom. So it's for me to just have enough lap length for this bottom and this bottom. So what I can do is just to say, if I'm using 50D for my lap length, I can also say 50 times 12 mm, that's 600 mm. So I can use like a 600 mm lap length. So if I say from here, let me pick where this reinforcement stop and just do an offset of 600, which is this. So I can decide to just stretch this bar up to that line I just drew. So with this, I already know I have enough lap length. So let me just move this a little bit up. So I can delete this line now, delete this. So now I know I have a lap length, I have enough lap length for this. So the next one would be these two panels. So what I can do for this one, instead of ranging again, I can just decide to copy this. Sorry, CO for copy. I'll pick this point to up here, copy bar set. I can move this down a little, then I can adjust this range 25 mm offset. Let me do the same thing here. Okay, let me leave this for now. Then I can stretch this range up to this point. So now I can just stretch this all the way down. For this will be the bottom part of the reinforcement, this will be the top part. Let me just move this back here. So all I have to do is just do my 0.25 of this panel for the top way, for the top part of this U-bar. So for this panel, let's measure again. I'm having 3200 times 0.25, which is 800. So I can pick this 800. So the reinforcement is supposed to stop somewhere around here. So what I have to do is just to stretch this part up to where we have it, which is here. So now I can delete this my dimension line. So we have this here now. So the next thing I can do, I can just still mirror this for the bottom part of here. So to mirror, all I have to do is just to, I can pick here, erase source object. I'll say no. If I erase it, the one up there would be deleted. So mirror bar set. So I'll move this down here. All I have to do is just to move this bar here. So now I have this here. So now we'll still do the 0.25 for this panel too to see what we have. So doing the 0.25 for here, this is 3225 times 0.25, that is 806. So we can assume like 850 for this one. So we can stretch this a little bit up. So now we have this. I think we've placed all the reinforcement in the vertical direction. So all I can do now is just to label bars that I didn't label. So to do that, you can come here under your check here, this during audit, it has already told us here that we have 5 unlabeled bars. So if I click on check this place where we have this highlight and click on highlight, it will highlight bars that I didn't label. So all I have to do now is just to come here under annotate here on CADS RC. You see label an existing bar. So I'll click on this, I'll click on the bar, then I'll pick somewhere here and I'll label. So I can just decide to just move this thing here properly to this point. So we've done for this. The next one is this one. I'll still do the same thing, annotate. You pick this, the bar, check outside here and pick this point. If you want to, you can come here and move this here properly. So we've done for that. For this, we'll do the same thing. Pick here. I try as much as possible to make my annotation neat and aligned. So you move this here. So we still have 2 left. So for this one, instead of calling it out all the way here, I can decide to do its own call out somewhere around here. I'll pick this, I can put it up here and just pick this arrow. For this one, I can choose not to use an arrow. I can decide to use another type, which is this leader. I can just delete this one, erase bar view, and just pick this one. Pick. Yeah. So you see what it does. So the same thing I did for this, I can do it for this one too. Instead of calling it all the way here, which is far, so I can just pick this one here, put it here, then pick this one and snap to somewhere around here. Then I can just adjust it. So let me move this a little bit down. So now I've placed all my vertical bars for the bottom reinforcement. I'll place the vertical bars, I'll place the horizontal bars for the bottom reinforcement now. So placing these ones, we'll still start from this panel. Let's do it all the way down from the left to the right. For this one, I still come back to right click here, CADS RC. I'll still pick range. Then we come here, new mark. I'll still be using the single indicator here. So I can come here, let me still use this shape of bar, this 9905, which is my bottom top. We are still using T12, and my center to center, I can decide to put it in here or put it inside when I'm ranging the bar. So let me just put it here for this one, 250. So for the dimension data, I can come for the first one, 1000, 100, skip this, 100, 1000. Okay, so now I can come here to range my bar. So if I start from here all the way here, offset of 25, it's probably going to stop somewhere around here. I'll pick this 25 offset. Since I already specified my spacing, that's why it's not asking me for spacing here. So I can just press enter to continue and press yes, Y for yes to label. So I have this. All I have to do now is just double click on the bar side. Okay, so I have this here now, so I can just adjust this a little. For this side, it's just for me to stretch, and I have this here. So let me save. So what's left now is just do my 0.25 of this side, 0.25 of this side. So doing this now, let me measure the panel. This is 5850 times 0.25. That's 1462.5. So let me assume 1.5. 1500. I'll do for this side. I'll do another 1500 for this side. So now what I'm doing now is just to stretch these two bars. I'll stretch this here. I'll stretch this here too. So now I can just delete this too. So I have this now. So I'll do this small part here too. So now to do this one, we'll be using a U-bar from here so the reinforcement can lap a little into this beam. So for this one, I'll still come here, new range, new bar, pick single indicator. So now I'll be using a U-bar which is 39. On that note here, I'll just put U-bars. You can, if you, okay, let me show you something. Control X, let's put it here for you to see the difference. If I put it here, if I come here, this is 100, this is 1000. If I do this, press OK. If I arrange it just a little outside its beam, can range from here 25. Okay, let me stop here. 25, spacing of 250. Enter. Not yet. Let me double click on this and say side. Okay. So now if I decide to label this bar now, you see where it's putting it. But I intend to put it, to be too long, I intend to put it on the other side, which is the extra note too. So let me put it down here. If I press OK, it will drop it down. So I can decide to just move this back in and adjust this my line. So I would have to stretch my bar this time. So I'll stretch this and let it get to where this stops. So I have this now. Can even delete this now. So let's measure this panel from here to here. That's 5225. 5225 times 0.25. That's 1306. So let's make this 1350. 1350. So all we have to do is just to stretch this to this point. Can't delete this now. I have this. So let's do for this small panel here. I can even decide to just copy this bar. See, I'll copy and copy here, just like I've been doing. All you have to do is just to adjust the range. 25 should stop somewhere here. Let me stretch this all the way here. Then I'll stretch this. All the way here. I can delete this one now. I can even delete this too. So I've done this. So now I'll adjust my bend. So to adjust this, let's measure these two. From here to here, I have 4625. 4625 times 0.25. That's 1156. Let's assume 1.2. 1200, which is somewhere here. So let me stretch my bar there. Yeah. So this is here. So let's do this remaining smaller part here, which is okay. Let me move this down a little. Which is this one. Let me just draw. Still got door bar, new range, single indicator. I'll pick the shape of bar, but I'll still pick the plan for now. So let me make this bottom no, bottom top, and top bottom. So since I'm doing bottom top and top bottom, it has to be two times. So if I come here, click on OK, you can draw this, pick from here to here, 25, let it stop here, 25, spacing of 250. If I decide to label this for us to see, which is this, what this means is that it will distribute the bottom around here, it will also distribute the top. And if you watch, you will see we have two times. You see we have two times of the bar here, so that's, we have 3 at the bottom, 3 at the top. So we've done for this side. So let's come into this panel. For this panel, I come here, CADS RC, so I'll be picking the single indicator, picking bottom. Okay, so if I draw from here to here, you range it all the way down. From here, offset of 25, you can't go beyond here, so I'll stop here, 25, spacing of 250. Let me label this. Okay, so I have this remaining small part. Okay, I forgot to adjust this. So come here, search bar, let me adjust this to somewhere around here. So just like we did here, let's do for these small parts too. I come here, CADS RC, draw range, new bar, I'll pick single indicator, another U bar this time, U bars, 39 for U bars, B 100, 1000 as assumption for now. Okay, then come here, somewhere here, so you can range from here, 25, let's range it to this point, 25, spacing of 250. Do I want to label? Let me say no, I'll label later. So now if I double click on this side, okay, so I have this bar, let me just move it here properly. So now this my return here is 0.5 of this span of this place. Let me say here to here, this is 41, 0.25 of 41, that's 1025. So let me assume 1050. 1050, 1050. So all you have to do is just to to stretch this here. You can delete this dimension back. So we have this. Now we are left with these two panels. So now if you look at these two panels, you notice the, by the time we do 0.25 of this, of the top reinforcement of U bar for this one, it will be the same with this other, with this and this, it will be the same thing. So for this one, to draw my U bar here, which is more like my bottom top, if I come here, this time I'll be picking the single fixed pitch. So if I pick this, still come here, the same information, U bars, come here, B 100, C 1000. Okay, then we can come, okay, we've done this. So it's just for us to draw this. Now we start from here to somewhere here. So to draw my range, 25 offset, you pick here, 25, press enter. It's asking me for my spacing, which is 250. Press enter. It's asking me press enter to continue, enter. It's asking me to pick another start point, so I'll pick here for this offset of 25 again. Then pick this side, which is the last side, offset of 25, press. It's asking me enter to continue, enter. do I want to finish? I'll press enter. Yes, finish. It's asking me for this, I'll press yes. Then it's asking me if I want to label, I'll press yes. So pressing yes, I can just put my label up here. So I have this. So all I have to do now is double click on this bar side. Okay, then I'll do my 0.25 of the upper part of the U bar. So if I decide to measure this panel 4650 times 0.25, that's like 1162. Let's assume like 1.2. So if I do 1.2 for this, just for me to stretch, and delete this back. So I have this range already allocated for this panel and this panel. So what's the next thing I do is just to label bars that I missed out. So where are the bars that I missed out? I can just come back here to check and see, okay, I didn't label 3 bars. Come here, 3 bars. So these are the bars that I didn't label. Oh sorry, I didn't move this the other time, so it's just to move this here. So the bars that I didn't label had this, and this. So to label them, just come to annotate here under CADS RC, label an existing bar, which is this. I'll pick this and label this. Let me move this away from here a little. So let me label this here. Then this last one, let me label this one somewhere around here, but this time let me pick this one. Let me move it up a little. So I've done for all this now. I can save. So the next thing I'll be doing now is placing my support reinforcement, which is my top. So doing my top, what I can do, I'll do for all the horizontal first, then I'll do for the vertical first, then I'll do for the horizontal. So let's start with the vertical first. For the vertical, for top, if you look at where we have to place our top, which is this grid line, we place our top here. So for this one, let me just do Ctrl C, door range, new mark. Okay, so this time, coming before I do, this time, you know, the extent at which this top reinforcement will be coming into this place will be different from the one that will be coming into this place. So that means I'll be using the single indicator for this panel. Using this one, if I come here, top, I'll change my shape of bar to 20, which is for straight bars. If I come here, I'll pick this range here. I can always adjust the parameters later. So if I come from here, offset of 25, it stops here, 25, spacing of 250, press enter. Do I want to label now? I can choose to label later. So all I have to do is just measure this. What I have here the other time was 1350, so I can do the same for this, 1350. So I'll move this here, can delete this. For this other side, let me measure. This is 4100 times 0.25, which is 1025. Let me just assume 1050 for this side. 1050, which is somewhere around here. So all I have to do is just to stretch this bar back, which is here. I have this. So now I still need my support reinforcement here. I also need down here. So what I can just do for this part is to draw range, new mark, single indicator, then you come here, top, you can just snap to this point here. Then for this side, you already have one here, you snap to this place. You already know it's the same extent to this side, so you snap here. So what I'm doing now is just to pick this from here, 25, down here 25, spacing of 250. I think I imputed the wrong spacing, but I can always adjust that. Press enter. Do I want to label now? I can't. Let me say no for now. Let me confirm my spacing. If I double click on this, okay, yeah, I think I got it right, 250. So I have this, I've done for this side. Then I still have this small side here, which is here. So the same thing, just like I did there. I'll come here, door range, CADS RC door range, new, single indicator, top. I'll snap to this, but we'll have to measure this other side. So for this, I'll pick from here 25. What's my end, which is here, 25, spacing of 250. I'll press enter. Do I want to label? Let me say yes for this. So let me just move this. Yeah, so I have to measure the extent of this one. Let me just come to the one on the other side, since they'll probably be equal. This is giving me 1.2 meters, so I should be having 1.2 meters here, 1200. So if I come to CADS RC here, I can do this, touch it there, and we are good. So we've done the top here. Let's do for this side. So for this side, I already have 1 point here, so let me come here. For this one, I'll be picking, since these two panels are equal and this panel is okay, so I can just pick this single fixed pitch in the indicator. So for this one, top, come here, let me snap to this place here. I don't know this my right hand side, but I'll do the calculation. So I'll come from here, 25 here, 25 spacing, then enter. What's our spacing? 250 spacing. Press enter to continue. Pick this point, offset of 25. Pick the last point here, offset of 25. Press enter to continue. Press enter to finish. Press enter, and yes for label. Then I come up here and dub. So what's left now is just to measure the 0.25 for this side. If I come to my annotate and do this side, from here to here, that's 1.2. So I should be having 1.2 meters here too, 1200. So if I come here, if I decide to stretch this bar, okay, 1.2 meters. So I can delete this. Okay, so I think I've completed the top reinforcement for the vertical. So let's do for the horizontal. For the horizontal, we'll be doing for this panel. We already have the one for this side, and we'll be doing for this panel. So for this one, come here, door range, new range, single indicator, top. So what I have to do is this, then from here 25, here 25, 250 spacing. Press enter. Do I want to label? Let me say yes. So I'll drop it on this side, have here. So what's left now is just for me to measure this. So if I come to my annotate, what's my 0.25 on this side of this panel? This giving me 1.35 meters. This is 1.35 meters. We should have the same thing here, 1350, which is here, which is this, somewhere here to here. Can delete this. So for the other side here, I already had one here. If I measure from here to here, I'm having 1 meter. So all I have to do now is just to measure the same 1 meter here. Then I adjust I stretch my bar 1 meters. So if I stretch this down to 1 meter, which is here, I can delete this now. So I've provided the support reinforcement for this side. What's left is just for this one. So if I come here again, CADS RC, door range, new mark, single indicator, top, pick for this. So to do my bench, I'll start from there. 25 cover here, 25. It's asking me for number of space, now I'll say 250. Enter to continue. Yes, label. So I have this. All I have to do now is to measure what I have here. All I had here was 800, and what I had here was 850. So that means I'll be having 800 here, and I'll be having 850 on this lower side. So if I move this to the point of the 800, which is here, I'll stretch this other one to the 850, which is here. I can delete this. So I have this. If you look at our line, our range, well, for this one where we did this double indicator, you would see your line. Look at what is connecting them. You can decide to adjust this by pressing LTS, which is the line type scale, and you can just play with it. You can adjust it to, like, let's say 30. If you adjust it now, you see this looks better. Let me do it again. LTS line type scale. Let me make it 10. Okay, now I think this, let me make it 15. Now this looks a little bit better. So I have this. So I've done for all the support reinforcement. Let me just check which I didn't label. So if I come here, I didn't label 2 bars, which is this and this. So for this one, let me just move my range. Let me move it to the other side here. It doesn't really change anything. I need my drawing to be very neat. If I come here, I can decide to call out this somewhere around here. This can be adjusted. No, let me call it out on the lower side. I'll call it out on the lower side here, which is this. Stretch this here. So let me call out this last one too, which is this. Which is this. So what's left now is for us to start placing our top distribution, which is our top bottom. So placing, we can decide to delete all these lines that we did at first, which are all these. You can decide to just go around and delete them. Delete them. Okay, I think that's all for them. So deleting them, what's next is to draw our top bottom. So come to draw range, new bar. This time we are using T10 and 250. So now we'll be picking the single fixed pitch, just like we've been doing so far. We'll do the vertical first, then we'll do the horizontal. So 12 mm top bottom, then you come here. So now let's start from here. Snap from here. You snap to this point, then press enter. You pick start point 25 offset. I'll pick a 25 offset here too. 25. It's asking me for spacing of 2. I'll put my 250 spacing. Press enter to continue. I'll do the same thing here. 250, 25 rather. They pick the hinge. 25. Press enter to continue. Enter to finish. Enter. then I'll press Y for yes to label. I'll label this top here. I've done for this. Let's go to the next panel, which is this. I'll repeat the last range that I did, press enter, then I'll pick this top bottom. You still have the same information, T10 out. Then I can put my spacing 250. Okay, so stretch this, snap to this point, so somewhere here I have this. Then let me start my range. I'll start my range from, put it here 25, here 25, press enter to continue, spacing of 250, press enter to continue, enter, pick here, spacing of 250, 25 rather, pick the end 25, press enter, enter, enter. Do I want to label it? I'll say no for now. You can choose to label it. I'll say no. You can decide to just label at the end. So for this last part here, I'll repeat these two. Pick, okay, for this one I can just pick the single indicator, which is top bottom, still 10 mm. Pick this, then I'll pick, let me snap from here. So yeah, so for my range from here 25, pick this end 25. Oh, okay, spacing of 250, enter to finish this. But one thing we did the other time was we already have this for the bottom, for the top bottom, so I'll need to adjust. I have to adjust this range back here, which is to this point. Yeah, I think it looks, it's correct now. So we've done for this side. For this next panel we'll be doing the same thing. CADS RC, door range, new mark, single fixed pitch, top bottom. Then let's start from here. You come here, so let's range it here, pick 25 up to here, pick end, which is here 25, enter, spacing of 250, enter. So pick the next one, which is here. Oh damn it, I'll need to draw this range again. So to do this again, I'm sorry, I think that was a mistake from my side. CADS RC range, new mark, single fixed pitch, top bottom. Okay, so range, which is so here, offset, if you read here I'm seeing 1885, but it's supposed to be 25. Pick here 25, press enter to continue, number of spacing is 250, press enter to continue, pick another start point, which is this 25 offset, here 25, enter, finish, enter. Then I want to label yes, then I'll drop this here. You can decide to just move this bar a little away. Okay, yeah, I've done that. So for the last one, I'll pick this new door range, new, it's the top bottom, pick this, then I can arrange from here to here, that's my bar. Then I'll arrange from here 25, pick here 25, it's 250 spacing, enter to continue, snap to this place 25, pick another point 25, then you pick another start point to here 25, what's the end here, and 25 offset, you enter, then you press yes to finish. Then these are clashing, you can just move it away a little. So it's clashing with this, you can still move this away. Okay, so we have for this, I think we are done for the vertical. So now let's do for the horizontal. For the horizontal, we do the same thing, new bar, single fix, which is top bottom. You go from here. Let's start from here. Pick. We get into this point. Offset of 25 to here, 25. Axing of spacing of 250. Same thing here, 25. Just to label. I will drop this here. Can always adjust this. All I have to do is just to move this. Let me move this down a little. Move this down a little, then I can try to adjust this one too. Okay, I think this makes more sense now. So let's come to this next panel, just like we did for that. Top bottom. So we start our range from here, 25. Snap here, 25. Spacing of 250. Enter. Pick another start point, 25. Offset 25 here. Press enter, enter, enter. Can decide to label. Yeah. So we don't have for this panel because this return has already distributed this place. So we'll come for this panel. CADS RC door range, new bar. Let's pick this single fixed. Top bottom. All I have to do is just snap to here. Snap. So let's start from here. 25. 25. Offset of spacing of 250. Enter to continue. 25 of offset. 25 offset from the last. Press enter, press enter. I don't want to label yet, I'll label later. So we have for this panel. So let's do for the last one. Single fixed pitch 2. Top bottom. Pick. Should get somewhere here. 25. Spacing of 250. Enter. Pick up point 25 offset. 25, 25. Press Y for yes to label. I have this. Instead of doing for this last one, I can even just copy this bar down here and just stretch and just adjust the size of the bar, since the range is the same thing. If you look at this copy bar set, the range is the same. I can decide to even move this bar to the other side so this place doesn't look clumsy. I can decide to put this here and just adjust. If you look, that was longer, this is longer than this, so I can decide to just stretch and take this up a little. I can delete my line now so as to create space for the one I want to call out. So let's start with this. I come here to annotate, pick this, I pick this. So let me just use this, which is this. Let me adjust this a little. Now this, the next one is this and this. For this one, let me see where I can call this out. Okay, let me try to adjust this a little. Okay, so I can call this bar out down here. So I'll pick this again. Let me use this and I'll stretch this down here. And I'll put this here. So for the last one, which is this, Is this, let me put it here. I'll still pick this, let's put it somewhere around here. So I can do this. Let me take it up, so it should be on the same line with this. So doing all this makes my detailing more presentable and very neat. Even all these I can, all these ones I did here, I can just move them a little bit here so they all look like they're on the same line. Let me take this back a little, then I can just adjust all this, so at the end of the day people see that will be like, and they'll be like, wow, this looks very nice. It's just to make it very presentable and all of, so this looks good. So now we are done with our details. So what you can just do is to check your details. If there's no issues, if there's an issue, it will tell you from here, you will see it from here. So if you come here, you can check, do your drawing audit. Doing your drawing audit here, if there's an incomplete bar, it will highlight and show you here. If there's a bar which is beyond the stock length, it will tell you here. If you didn't label anyone, or there are restricted bars, it will tell you here. All you have to do is just to highlight it, click on check the box beside the here and highlight it, then close, then you come and do the necessary adjustment here. So for this next one, which is match bars, just like the name implies, it will consolidate bars by removing duplicates. If you have any duplicate bars, it will remove it and probably make them one, so for this one, for these compact bars, this one would remove. Okay, let's do for the match bar first. For the match bars, suppress questions and accept default. If you say yes, okay, you see it loading. If you look here, it has already done that. It has removed the duplicates and probably made them like one. So for the next one, which is our compact bars, this one, if you decide to start your bar mark from one, it will label your bar from one to probably the last number of bars. But if you want to specify, okay, I want my first bar mark to be like 20, so if you picks 20, the next one will be like 21, 22, 23. So let's just put it at the default one, which is one. So if you click on that and wait a little, it will number all your bars. So from one, let's see, here's our number one bar, which is probably this. I feel that was the first bar we do, which is this.